Hey everybody, Perry the One-Armed Legend here. It's so good to see you again. Today I have a Blu-ray review and unboxing of, and I'm going to try to say this in one breath, so bear with me, the Puella Magi Modoka Magica movie Parts 1, Beginnings, Part 2, Eternals Collector's Edition Blu-ray box set. Now before I get into my personal thoughts on the Modoka Magica movies, let's go ahead and do some unboxing. Perry here today with my Blu-ray disc review and unboxing of the Puella Magi Modoka Magica movie Parts 1 and 2 box set. Now first off, before I get into unboxing this thing itself, let's just take a look at this beautiful cover of Modoka herself and Homura, two of the main cast members. Here it has like this really nice matte finish, and it's actually a very thick box set too. I mean it's a pretty thick set too. It'll look great on anyone's shelf. As you can see here, we have the title right down there, Puella Magi Modoka Magica. And the Blu-ray box set comes with the Disc 1, which is Part 1 Beginnings, Part 2, which is Eternal on Disc 2, and there's actually a little bonus disc that comes with the Collector's Edition of the original soundtrack, and is released by Aniplex on Blu-ray, and as you can imagine, it is available right now off of like CD Japan and RightStuff.com, so if you feel like picking this up, I really do suggest it, but let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of it. Alright folks, here's a quick shot of the back of the box set. Now, I haven't seen the films yet themselves, and I'm just doing a little bit of research, just taking a look and seeing who they are, and apparently, let me see if I can name these characters off right. Mami, I can't remember her last name, I'll just call her Mami, Sakura, and Sayaka. There, I think I got that right, yeah. Anyways, this is a brand new release. It does come with, let's see, English. Let me just go ahead and try to zoom in a little bit. I apologize for a little shaky cam. Just trying to prop this up correctly. It does come with English, Chinese, Korean, French, Spanish, and Japanese subtitles. So, and it is a 1080p release. It looks, I hope this looks, I'm pretty sure this looks beautiful. I mean, Aniplex, say what you will about the prices, say what people, I mean, I do admit there are some disagreements I have with them, but you can't deny the quality. I mean, all the stuff I've seen so far, like Bakemonogatari, Nisemonogatari, those look amazing on Blu-ray, and this, I'm sure, looks no different. And here we have a shot of the packaging itself without the outer casing, and here we can see Puella Magi Modoka Magica, the movies. Actually, I think there's like a small quote at the very top. I'm not sure if you guys can read this, but I'll try to read it out loud for you. She will know yet if this encounter is a mere coincidence or a necessity, which would be an encounter that would change her destiny. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but who knows. I can't wait to see these films and take a look for it myself. Anyways, I'm pretty sure that given the backdrop with Sakura and Mami on the back of, let's take a look at, let's open up the case itself and see what the Blu-ray casing like is in full view. And here's one encompassing shot of the back of the Blu-ray case itself. It just looks absolutely gorgeous. Nice glossy finish. Here we can see Homura again. We can see Sakura. We can see Mami on the front. And just look at the detail on the sky and the cities. It just looks beautiful. It almost reminds me of the detail that was in the skies of, like, say, Children Who Chase Lost Voices from Deep Below. Just absolutely beautiful film. And I can't wait to see what the quality and the imagery of this film looks like in general. Alright folks, now before we get into the Blu-ray discs themselves, let's take a look at some of the stuff that was inside the packaging before we get into the discs themselves. Here we can see a little bit of a flyer for the third movie, Rebellion. I'm pretty sure this is going to be the climax of the whole thing, just the final part of the trilogy. I just don't know how this, I really do not know how this story is going to unfold. I'm literally recording this right before I watch the movie, so I'll give you my thoughts afterwards, but just a cute little shot of Homura there. It looks really dark and bleak. I don't know why, and just by the exterior expression of her face alone, I mean, just take a look at that. It looks like she's very lonely, it seems. I'm not sure why. Anyways, it says here it'll be out October 26th, I think? Yeah, October 26th, if I'm reading that right. I can't wait to see what Aniplex does with this. I'm really curious to see how this unfolds. This is probably the piece I'm most curious about in the entire packaging, is this little Puella Magi Modoka Magica material booklet. I'm guessing this is containing like storyboards or art prints, but let's take a look inside. Now, I know if I'm going to... Now, I apologize if you have a hard time looking into this, but I'm going to have to flip through this like normal style just because it's a little hard to do this in reverse. I'm guessing that's like casting credits on the back. Little manga comedy strips. listing of the soundtrack. Seeing Madoka Magica key art. Little costumes and art designs. Whoa. Now that would make a great poster. I'm not gonna lie. That would look beautiful. More poster artwork, it seems. Storyboards. Again, I apologize. I know I'm reading this in reverse. It's just I can't do this with one hand really, and the other way around. If I could, I would. I seriously would. More storyboards. I'm guessing this is just to outline the basic plot and concept art. Oh man, look at this. Okay, I seriously, I need to see this now. I really do need to see this now, but I gotta finish this up first because this art looks amazing. When I've been researching, this is actually a retelling of the series, I believe, from what I was told, or at least what I've seen so far, or researched of the series themselves, kind of like the rebuild of Evangelion movies. But anyways, that's the material booklet for the box set. And finally, folks, we have all 3 discs inside this set. I mean, just look at how just elaborate and beautiful all this set looks. I mean, this is so big and so wide. I literally had to stretch out the camera back just a few inches just to see if I could get all of this in frame. And here we have a close-up shot of the disc 1 itself, and actually you can check, if you look closely, you can actually see the entire title circulating around the Blu-ray disc itself. And here's an up-close shot of Disc 2, Puella Magi Modoka Magica Movie Part 2, The Eternals. And finally, here's an up-close shot of the original soundtrack. One more thing I have to mention, folks, if you order this off of CD Japan, you'll get this beautiful desk mat. I'm trying to make sure that thing does not fall off, because that would be embarrassing if it did. But it does feature all of the main cast. We can see Madoka here, Homura, Sakura, Mami, and Sayaka. Looks beautiful. I'm actually going to put this right next to my laptop, right before my laptop, just so I have a blank space to sit than this hard desk here. Anyways, that just comes with the first press edition available. If you go to CD Japan, I'll put the link down below so that way you can pick it up for yourself. And now moving on to the final shot. Alright folks, here's one final shot of everything that comes with this collector's edition box set. Again, I apologize for the shaky cam. I'm trying to hold up the tripod while I'm doing this because the viewing angle is not exactly that great. Anyways, what we get the box set is this little flyer for the 3rd movie. You can see here at the bottom, the material booklet. Disc 1 for Part 1, The Beginnings, Part 2, The Eternals, the original soundtrack, the hard case itself, and if you pick this off of a CD Japan, you'll get this lovely little desk mat. Now back to my review. Alright folks, now I've had a chance to sit down and watch the movies themselves, I'm going to say this right now, I am not disappointed. Now I will admit, I am not very familiar with the tropes or cliches of certain magical girl animes. In fact, I don't think I've actually seen one off the top of my head up to this point, ever since I started really diving into the genre and the style a couple of years ago. And so this is kind of going in cold as well. And I literally knew nothing about the story. I didn't read the books. I never saw the series. So I literally went into this as cold turkey as you could possibly get. And I know this is going to sound really naive and kind of like a greenhorn, but I thought it was like, oh, it's kind of like Harry Potter for young girls. And man, was I wrong. In fact, there's some parts in this that I felt like if I had to describe in terms of the pace, where how dark it can get, imagine if you watched, and going back to Harry Potter, like if you watch Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone or Philosopher's Stone, depending on which version you know, if you watch the lightheartedness of that one, it can get kind of dark and creepy at sometimes, but then imagine going from that to something like maybe the later Harry Potter films, like Order of the Phoenix or Deathly Hallows Part 2. Just watching that, it gets that dark at sometimes. But it's all so good. The storyline is great. Every one of the characters, main characters, gets its own development, gets its own character arc and story. Every one of them has a time to develop and grow. And you understand why each of the characters react the way they do and contemplate the decisions that they make and why they come to the conclusions that they do. The story follows, like I said, a group of young ladies who are all in middle school, and it centers around this one girl named Madoka, the main character, and it comes out that she runs across this one young lady named Homura who tries to prevent her from becoming this one thing called a magical girl. We don't exactly know why, and this one entity called Kuberi is allowing her to become a magical girl in exchange of one wish being granted for the chance to become one. Sounds like a good deal, right? You make one wish and you become a magical girl. Unfortunately, certain events transpire during the course of the storyline that I will not spoil for you because, believe me, I'm trying to do you a favor, that may prove to her and show her that being a magical girl has some major downsides and has some major price to pay. But seriously, that's all about the plot I'm going to dive into for these two movies, because seriously, you guys need to check this out. If there's one thing I will defend Aniplex on, is the quality of the video and audio for their releases. I mean, the amount of detail they have and the amount of sound quality they have for this is absolutely unbelievable. I cannot tell you how good this looks until you see it for yourself. All the colors just vibrate off the screen here. I mean, I heard every little twist of the weapon, swing of a sword, little shot of a bow, little step that every character make, every little raindrop, every little thing that they added to this audio. It was amazing. And the subtitles all translated pretty well. I didn't really counter any grammatical errors whatsoever. But then again, I was trying so much to pay attention to the visuals and see how beautiful it looked. And not only that, there's several other animation styles that come in as well. But they go into these segments called labyrinths, like very twisted, dark segments, and hunt these entities called witches, which is the primary job of a magical girl. And what they come across in the style of those places, it's kind of like if I had to describe it, it would be like if you mixed the opening segment of Monty Python's Flying Circus with the backcrap craziness of Paprika's Parade. And if you've seen both of those things, you know exactly what I'm talking about and how crazy it can get. If I had one minor complaint about the story itself, is that in the second movie, I felt like the backstory behind Homura, and focuses on her, and it shows how she came to be part of all these events. I felt like it dragged on a little bit too long, but I can't fault the movie for being thorough. But still, this is a fantastic release. The soundtrack is amazing. The picture quality, as I've said, looks amazing, as well as the audio quality. So I highly recommend Puella Magi Modoka Magica, and it's just... I'm very surprised by this one. I can't wait to see the third film, and I hope you guys pick this up as well. Alright folks, that was my review of the Puella Magi Modoka Magica movie box set. I hope you enjoyed this review. Now for tomorrow, since it is going to be my Thursday, and you know that's anime review night, I figured, well, what could I review during the course of that anime night that would kind of alleviate some of the seriousness and the dark tones that I saw during the course of Modoka Magica. Granted, as much as I enjoyed it, I feel like I need something to counterbalance that, just to have something that is so unadulterated fun that I remember a lot as growing up. It was one of the first animes I really took notice of the style, and it pretty much changed my whole perspective on the genre. And so I thought to myself, what could I watch? This should do nicely. So until next time everybody, I'm Perry the One-Armed Legend. You name it, I can play it.